So this is how I deal with these people who go after me on the internet. I give them an option. I make a video about them and I say to them, listen, if you continue to badmouth me, you're entitled to your opinion, but if you continue to badmouth me about things you don't know, then I will expose you for what you are on the World Wide Web. I don't want to do that. I want to get on with dog training. But it's a strong point to bring up for everybody in the group to realize that bringing dogs from other countries and thinking you're rescuing them, you're not doing the dogs any favors at all, because there's so many dogs with problems that people can't even get over the problems of dogs in this country that have been neglected and misused. These dogs, some of these dogs have been street dogs. Some of these dogs have been abused so badly that you'll never get them back to the level of being able to take them off the lead and trust them. And it's such a shame, but you can't take on the world's problems. And if this woman had just give her opinion that she doesn't think my training methods are acceptable, that would have been fine. But to carry on non-stop, to try and create a shitstorm, no different than McDowell did, then what will happen is I will share this video on the internet, on YouTube, on Facebook, and expose her for what she is. Then they go back under the stone they come from. So what I'm going to do for Sharon, I'm going to send her this video in private and say, wind your neck in, go away and leave me alone, get on with your life, else I'll expose you for what you are, because I've done my own work. Now, you're either a registered charity and you're entitled to do that, ask for money, or you're doing it and it's against the law. It's as simple as that. It's not acceptable to manipulate people with pulling on their heartstrings and working on their emotions. I just cannot believe that this woman is so obsessed, and this is what they become. They become so obsessed on the internet with their own ideology, they can't leave other people alone. So when you put your head above the parapet, you're going to be shot at. This has been shared on this group, and that picture there, the beginning of the clip of the video, doesn't do me any justice at all, because that's not me giving that dog that shaking, that discipline. But this woman here comes on the group, this Sharon Mackay comes on the group, and she must have wrote 70 posts arguing with everybody that anybody uses any discipline of any sort is cruel and they shouldn't have dogs, and you know they're barbaric, and that method of training went out the door years ago, and dogs are far better than that, and they need love and affection, and that's all they need. They don't need discipline in any way. And someone sent me the link and I looked at it, and this is the group of people with all these dogs. Look, certain dogs, and I would say that most of those are working dogs in technically their breeds, and she doesn't want little bunnies and fluffies chased, but she wants to bring them in from other parts of the world. So she brings them in from Spain and she rescues these dogs, and she plays a fur baby mama, and that's what she does. She goes out of her way to bring dogs in that she can't afford to look after from Spain and other countries, and invite other people to do it and take these dogs on. A lot of these dogs are very difficult dogs to move on into pet situations, and so many of them get put down because of this overthinking from these fur baby people who are obsessed with saving everything out there. If a dog's been chasing a rabbit and a hare and you think you're going to stop it with treats and love, that's not going to happen. You'll have to keep it on a lead. And what this woman's done, she's gone on the group to rubbish me as a trainer because of that first video where another trainer is giving the dog discipline. Yes, I give discipline. Yes, I stand by what I say. But why did they need to put that video? It just shows you, doesn't it? But what she does, she pulls on heartstrings, this woman. Living with a dog with epilepsy is consuming. And what she does, she plays on heartstrings, and then she wants you to give money to her so she can give these poor dogs a lovely life. So she's got too many dogs. She's overcompensating for the emotional baggage that she's carrying. And this is the problem. It needs to be addressed and highlighted that you're not doing these dogs any justice. If you can't afford to give the dogs the veterinary care and the care and duty they need with the medicines and the food, you shouldn't be begging. And if you're a charity, tell us you're a charity, Sharon. But if you're just pulling on heartstrings by putting up pretty pictures of dogs because you've got this obsessional behavior because you cannot say no, You have to say no. It's like these women with children. You end up having 5 or 6 children by different people, and you start getting on the system and claiming it off the benefits. And then you play the victim because you're not getting enough money and you can't afford to give them the extra things in life. Unfortunately, you have to plan ahead. And there you are on PayPal, look, begging people for money. And people are gullible, people are loving, and people send in money. Now, if you're a genuine person, and it's genuine, then I say well done to you. But when you come onto a group and you start giving your opinion about how nasty anybody is who uses any form of discipline, when people were already explaining to you that 95% is fun-based and only 5% discipline, Sharon Mackay, then you need to be exposed for what you are. So I'm giving you the opportunity because you went onto that group trying to cause a shitstorm for me, making 60 odd comments about nobody needs to give a dog discipline. Dogs do it because they love. Dogs do it because you love them, and dogs do it because if you're nice to them, they'll do what you want them to do. We live in the real world. We live in the real world. I've literally got these out of focus so people don't have to study and look at it unless they want to go on the group. But the words that you come out with, Sharon McCry, is absolute garbage. You're misleading people. You've got your own agenda, and you're trying to win hearts and minds and make yourself famous on the back of a video that I actually won the court case, but you can't leave it alone. You wanted to come on there and see if you could cause a shitstorm the same as Tina did. And guess what? What I say to you people is I let you go so far. You're entitled to your comments, you're entitled to your opinion, but to go on and on and on about it with over 60 feeds, and I think there's 90 comments on this now, you need to be exposed for what you are. Are you a charity, or are you just fleecing people and playing on people's emotions because you're a fur baby lover with no real understanding? You're bringing problems. There's diseases that these dogs bring into this country that we cannot eradicate, and you are bringing these dogs into this country and they're needing massive vets fees because of the price of the vets, and you can't afford it, so you're begging people to look after the dogs that you decide that you want to save. This is a real big problem in this country. It needs to stop. You're not the only one. There's too many people on the bandwagon. Even some of the rescue centres have got on the bandwagon and thought, let's bring dogs over in their lorry loads and give them a new chance in this country. Haven't we got enough problems with dogs in this country that need rehoming? Why do we need to sort out people's problems from abroad when we should be looking after the dogs in this country that have been neglected and passed on because people have got no understanding how to train them? I say, sort yourself out, Sharon, because you're a mess.